I've had one or two people ask me to remind them what the heck is a header. And so here's me reminding you what a header is. If you just kind of give yourself some comments at the top to work in, that works well. Your header should have your name, or at least your first name. It should have the date that you are writing this program. Oop, that's next year. There we go. And maybe a brief description of what that program is supposed to do. So I'm going to demo looping with a function. And if I had citations, it would go here. Okay, so if I was basing this off of someone's tutorial, or if I had consulted a programmer in my household, for example, on pieces of it, I could cite them here, like with help from Mr. Galbraith. I didn't actually get help from Mr. Galbraith, but it never hurts to thank him some more, right? Okay. All right. So we need something for our program to do. It's not going to do anything super fancy today. I'm going to let the user put in a name, and then I'm going to greet them by name. So I need a variable to hold that information, and I'm asking for an input, and I will say, what is your name? Profound stuff here, guys. And then I will print their name. That's it. That's the program so far. So I'm going to pause here and make sure it works. What is your name? Katie. Hi, Katie. Done. Cool. So that part is working. So in all of the programs, you are asked to make them repeatable. And I'm going to show you one way, one easy way to make that happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this little piece of code that I just did into a function. So that is something that is covered in the CodeHS lessons that you're going through, but maybe you haven't had to apply it in exactly this way yet, or maybe you haven't quite gotten down to that lesson. So I'm going to show you how to make a function right now. Really easy. DEF stands for define, and I'm going to call my function greeting. It gets double parentheses. That's kind of indicating that it's a function that's not taking in any specific information. Everything it does is contained within the function itself. In Computer Hardware 2 or in later units in the CodeHS Python class, you get to functions that pass arguments, but this one doesn't need that. Then it gets the colon at the end. And if you remember from things like conditional statements and other kinds of loops, it's usually an indication that we're going to need to tab everything that we want contained in this function needs to get tabbed in underneath the name, just like that. So now, if I were to run this program, what do you think would happen? It seems like maybe the same thing should happen, right? Nothing happens. That was it. That was the whole program. Did you see it? It was super exciting. So the reason nothing happens is I defined this function, but I never used it. I never asked it to do anything. So now I'm asking it to run. So now I have defined the function and I will run it one time. What is your name? Katie. Hi, Katie. Done. I could also run it 2 times, in which case it would run once and twice. But trying to make an infinite list of these to run your program over and over and over again is not very efficient. So there are a couple of ways to run it instead. I'm going to show you what I think is probably the easiest. So first, I'm going to go back and add a comment or two. This is a function to greet a user by name. That's what it does. So that's what the comment explains. That's what it's here for. Within the function, I'm going to add another step. Check to see if the user wants to run this function again. So now I've said hello to the user. Now I'm going to ask if they want to do it again. So I'm going to name my variable again, and I'm going to ask for input, and that input will be, would you like to be greeted greeted again? And I'm going to tell them what I would like them to type in. Now, that might seem silly, but sometimes people want you to use a capital yes, or a lowercase yes, or just the letter Y, or whatever it is you want to check for. You probably want to tell your user what you're hoping they will type in. Okay? All right. So now I've asked them, now I need to do something with that information. So if, again, is the same as yes, what do I want to happen? I want to run greeting again. Okay. Else, so in all other cases, maybe I will print out, okay, see you later. Fancy stuff. All right, so let's see if we can see what all is going to happen. So this whole section is defining my greeting function. This line just runs the greeting function. So it says, go up to the top of the greeting function and start working your way down. So when I've done that, I'm going to ask for my user's name. I'm going to print out hi and their name. And then I'm going to ask them if they would like to be greeted again. And if they say yes, then I'm going to go back to the start and do it all over again. If they say anything other than yes, so not necessarily no, but anything other than yes, I'm going to print, okay, see you later. And that'll be the end of the program. Okay, let's see how it works or if I've messed anything up. My name is Katie. Hi, Katie. Would you like to be greeted again? Why, yes, I would. What is your name? My middle name is Anne, so we'll be Anne this time. Hi, Anne. Would you like to be greeted again? And let's say maybe this time I'm like, maybe. Okay, see you later. No maybes here. The only thing I'm checking for is yes. So right here, if again equals yes. So here would be a cool place to throw in something like handling exceptions, which is where I don't give something expected. You could do some data validation. You could let me type in yes with uppercase or lowercase and accept that answer either way. So we can certainly get more refined, more fancy here. And there's a good example of how that might work in the expense calculator program example that I have up on the YouTube playlist linked in Canvas. So there are some good examples in there of how to make this a little more refined. But this basic structure where we have a function that does most of the work, and then we ask them if they want it to play again. And if yes, they go back to the top and start over. This basic structure will work for most of your assignments in this class that ask it to be repeatable. So it is a good thing to know how to do. Okay, pause there.